Ever wondered how much food you'd need to survive a disaster? That's a question we hear a lot. Picture this: a natural catastrophe hits, or the supply chain breaks down. Suddenly the supermarket shelves are empty, and you're left relying on your own resources. That's where food stockpiling comes in. It's not just about hoarding cans of beans and stacks of ramen. It's about planning and ensuring you have a balanced, nutritious supply to keep you and your loved ones healthy and strong for an extended period of time. It could be the difference between thriving and just surviving. It's like having an insurance policy, but instead of money, you're investing in your most basic need: food. This video will guide you on how much food you need to stockpile to sustain you and your family for 6 months. Knowing how much food to store is a crucial part of prepping. Let's dive in. Survival isn't about gourmet meals, it's about meeting your basic nutritional needs. And when we talk about these needs, we're essentially talking about calories. You might think of calories as just a pesky number you try to keep low on your diet, but in a survival situation, they're your lifeline. For an average adult, the daily caloric requirement is somewhere between 2,000 and 2,500 calories. This is the energy your body needs to perform basic functions like breathing, pumping blood, and maintaining body temperature, plus a little extra for any physical activity you might do. But remember, this is just an average. Your specific caloric needs can vary based on several factors. Age, for instance, plays a significant role. Younger individuals, particularly those in their growing years, may require more calories, while older adults might need fewer. Gender is another factor. Typically, men require more calories than women due to their higher muscle mass and larger size. Your weight and activity level also affect your caloric needs. If you're physically active or have a larger build, you'll need more calories to fuel your body. Climate can also play a part. If you're in a colder environment, your body has to work harder to maintain its internal temperature, which means you'll burn more calories. And let's not forget about individual metabolic rates. Some people naturally burn calories faster than others. So, when you're planning your food storage, you need to take all these factors into account. It's not a one-size-fits-all situation. You need to tailor your food stockpile to meet your unique needs and those of your family members. And while it might be tempting to stock up on the tastiest treats, don't forget that nutrition matters too. Your body needs a balance of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats to function properly, along with an array of essential vitamins and minerals. Remember, the goal is to maintain health and strength, not to indulge. Your survival could depend on it. So how much food does it take to keep a person healthy for 6 months? Let's break it down. The average adult needs around 2,000 to 2,500 calories per day, depending on factors such as age, gender, weight, and activity level. This translates to roughly 390 pounds of food for 6 months. If you're a family of 2, you're looking at 780 pounds. For 3, it's 1,170 pounds, and for a family of 4, you're looking at a whopping 1,560 pounds. Now, what does this food consist of? It's not just any food, but nutrient-rich, wholesome staples. You'd need about 200 pounds of grains such as flour, oats, rice, and pasta. Then there's 50 pounds of dried beans, lentils, and split peas. Don't forget 40 pounds of powdered milk and freeze-dried eggs for your dairy and protein needs. You'd also need around 30 pounds of canned or freeze-dried meat like beef, chicken, pork, or turkey. And of course, you can't forget about fruits and veggies. Make sure you have 50 pounds of dried, canned, or freeze-dried fruits, vegetables, and potatoes. Lastly, 20 pounds of sugars, honey, syrups, and other sweeteners to keep your meals tasty. Now remember, these numbers are rough estimates. You may need to adjust based on individual dietary needs, preferences, and restrictions. Also, this doesn't include water or any extras like snacks and treats. It's important to remember that this isn't about hoarding, but about being prepared. In a survival situation, having a well-stocked pantry can mean the difference between life and death, and while these numbers may seem daunting, remember that you don't have to get everything at once. Start small, buy in bulk when you can, and before you know it, you'll have a well-stocked pantry that can sustain you and your family for 6 months or more. It seems like a lot, but remember, this is about survival. You're preparing for the worst. Having all this food is one thing, storing it properly is another. Let's dive into the best storage solutions for your prepper pantry and the importance of water storage. Firstly, we need to discuss how to store all these grains, beans, and other dry goods. Airtight containers are your best friend here. They keep out moisture and pests, two of the biggest threats to your food supply. If you're looking for a reliable storage solution, Wallaby Goods offers a wide range of products that will keep your food safe and secure. Now, let's not forget about storing water. Water is life, quite literally. An average person consumes between 1 and 3 gallons of water per day. This includes drinking, cooking, and washing. So, for a 6-month supply, you're looking at 365 gallons per person. That's a lot of water. Storing water can be tricky, but there are solutions. Water storage containers come in all shapes and sizes, from portable water pouches to large water barrels. You might also consider water purification tablets or systems, so you can make use of any fresh water source you come across. Remember, water is heavy. Storing all your water in one place might not be practical. Consider spreading your water storage across multiple locations. This way, if one area is compromised, you still have other sources to rely on. Lastly, it's important to store your food and water in a cool, dry place. Extreme temperatures and humidity can spoil your supplies quickly, and always rotate your stock to make sure you're consuming the oldest items first. Proper storage is just as important as having enough food. Don't overlook it. Keep your supplies safe, and they will keep you safe when you need them most. With the right planning and preparation, you'll be ready to face any challenge that comes your way. Remember, it's not just about surviving, it's about thriving. Stay prepared, stay safe, and stay tuned for our next discussion on factors affecting food storage. But it's not just about throwing food in a bin and calling it a day. No, it's much more intricate than that. The longevity and quality of your food stocks are significantly influenced by several factors that we must consider. First up, temperature. Food storage is a delicate dance with heat. The warmer the storage environment, the shorter the food's shelf life. Ideally, aim to keep your storage space at a cool, stable temperature. Around 50 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit is perfect. Next, we have humidity. Moisture is the arch enemy of food storage. It can lead to mold growth, spoilage, and a decrease in nutritional value. To combat this, consider using desiccants or dehumidifiers to keep the moisture levels in check. Then there's light exposure. Light, especially sunlight, can degrade the quality of your food over time, leading to loss of nutrients and flavor. Hence, it's crucial to store your food in a dark place or use dark light-proof containers. Packaging also plays a pivotal role. Your food's longevity is only as good as its packaging. Opt for airtight containers, vacuum-sealed bags, or cans to keep air and pests out. And remember, once you open a package, its shelf life decreases dramatically, so only open what you plan to consume. Lastly, consider the type of food you're storing. Not all foods are created equal when it comes to storage. Certain items like grains and dried beans can last for years if properly stored, while others like oils and certain canned goods may have a shorter shelf life. So, how can you maximize your food's shelf life and prevent spoilage? Well, it's all about control. Control the temperature, control the humidity, control the light exposure, control the packaging, and control the types of food you store. And remember, regularly monitor your food stocks. Check for signs of spoilage, rotate your stock to use older items first, and replace anything that's past its prime. Remember, proper storage is key to maintaining the quality and nutritional value of your food. Because in the race against time, every grain, every bean, every can counts. We all have unique dietary needs. It's important to consider these when planning your food storage. For instance, if you have allergies, you'll need to avoid certain foods. This might mean stocking up on gluten-free products if you're gluten intolerant, or avoiding canned goods if you're sensitive to preservatives. For those with specific dietary restrictions, such as vegetarians or vegans, you'll need to ensure you have protein sources like beans, lentils, and other legumes. Diabetics should consider low-sugar options, and those with high blood pressure might need to avoid high-sodium canned goods. There are also those who may need to consider lactose-free or nut-free options. The key is to plan ahead and ensure you have alternatives that suit your needs. Remember, in a survival situation, you might not have the luxury of choice, but with a little planning, you can ensure your food storage meets your dietary needs. So, make sure to plan accordingly.